Hello everyone, Iris Alliston here, and in this training, you're going to learn the 3 LinkedIn strategies for your business. Because oftentimes a lot of business professionals and entrepreneurs, as well as authors, speakers, and coaches out there, don't necessarily know how to build their strategies when it comes to LinkedIn for their business. And LinkedIn is actually a very powerful tool if you have the right strategies and you have the clarity on how to build your personal brand as well as your business using LinkedIn. Now, in this training, I've also been provided a few examples from one of my friends. Her name is Celine, and she has given me a few members of profiles. So I'm going to be briefly talking about that in this training. But before we get started, let me go ahead and tell you who I am and what I do. Again, my name is Ires Alliston. I'm known as a global business and branding mentor. I've been speaking on stages for a while now. I'm also an entrepreneur and a certified coach. And I'm also been featured in some of these affiliated media sites, as well as Black News, blacknews.com. I have an article there, as well as I'm also a columnist for Funnel Magazine. I write information and articles when it comes to leadership, branding, and marketing. So I have had a few years of experience when it comes to building your personal brand as well as building your business. And right now, I'm really focused on, in addition to personal branding, I'm focused on coaching experienced entrepreneurs and coaches out there. And I have actually built my own system. It's called Branding for Bosses Accelerator Program, where I teach them how to build a thriving coaching business and getting those high ticket clients, right? Working from anywhere in just a few hours a week. All right, so with LinkedIn, you definitely need to have clarity. You definitely need to have content when it comes to your LinkedIn profile, right? As well as you need to have some engagement in your community when it comes to LinkedIn. So in other words, you have to have some strategies. So in this training, you're going to learn what I call POPP, POP. So I'm briefly going to go over positioning your brand so that you are known as the expert in your niche, as well as we're going to go over a little bit of your online presence. And what I mean by that is we're going to look into your URL when it comes to LinkedIn, your headshots or your professional profile, as well as many others. And the third one is I'll be sharing on how you can promote your LinkedIn profile when it comes to connecting and growing your LinkedIn even more as a business professional as you are. Now, let me tell you a little bit of background when it comes to LinkedIn for those of you who might not know what LinkedIn is, because LinkedIn is definitely different than any other social media platforms out there. So if you're only using Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and you haven't used LinkedIn before, now it's the time to definitely use that for your business, because not a lot of people out there, like I mentioned before, are using and utilizing LinkedIn. It has the power to actually grow your profile or your business to another level. So LinkedIn is approximately has about 562 million users and counting. It's probably more now since I've done this training. But just to give you, a data, I mean, that's a lot of people in LinkedIn, right? Whether they're active or inactive. LinkedIn is basically for professionals, business professionals, job hunters, and even students, right? So it has a multiple array of various backgrounds when it comes to LinkedIn users. And it is also great for building business networks and growing your professional connections. Like I said earlier, it is more professional compared to other entertaining social media platforms like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, right, per se. But definitely, I highly recommend that you utilize LinkedIn to grow your business. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's also LinkedIn is about who you know, right, on LinkedIn, as well as the connections that they know. So we want to leverage the power of LinkedIn for professional growth. So how do we do that? Right? The very first one I've mentioned is positioning. And in other words, when it comes to positioning your LinkedIn, we need to also look at your professional headline. Now, the professional headline has 120 character limit, meaning it's the wordings that you have on there. And I want you to first realize that your professional headline is the very first thing that many viewers or the public actually see when it comes to your LinkedIn profile. So I highly recommend that you use keywords that you want to be found for or you want to be known as, and that actually has the outcome and results driven, right, for the people who is trying to find you. So basically, you're going to tell me what you can do for me, because that's going to set you apart from other competitors out there because you're providing your value. Okay, you're hitting that value proposition that you have in the marketplace. And I also want you to showcase your specialty when it comes to whatever it is in your field that you have, your business and field and things like that. And I want you to keep in mind that when you do all of these headlines, that when you start thinking and crafting your own professional headline, I want you to actually speak directly to your audience or your market, as opposed to speaking to everyone else out there, because there is a saying that if you trying to target, right, everyone, you're actually targeting to no one. You're not talking to anyone, because your message and your headline gets saturated over time. Now, I do provide you an action steps, and this is one of the things that I actually teach my clients or my students. This is one way. There's so many ways to do this, but this is one way for you to do, especially if you're just starting out with LinkedIn, is I have this formula. And basically, you can have your job title, whatever it is. Let's say if you are a life coach, definitely have that on there. If you're a published author, you know, something like that, or a branding expert per se. And then you can go ahead and add helping X do Y. So you're a branding expert helping entrepreneurs create even more success in their brands. Okay, something like that. Now, here's an example that I've actually picked on LinkedIn, and this is Goldie Chan, and she actually has a headline that rocks, and it reads LinkedIn Top Voice. Okay, social media. She has been featured on Forbes as a personal branding and storytelling, and she's also in the Producers Guild. And that really sets her apart than everyone else, because this is who she is. It is her brand, it's authentic, it's what she does. Now, for example, another example here is with Celine, okay? And she reads visibility and branding coach, entrepreneur, and author. As you can see, her headline also lists the expertise that she has, is what she offers to the marketplace. Who is she trying to target or she's trying to help out there? Well, she is a branding coach, she's an entrepreneur, and she's also an author. So she has those expertise listed, and as well as she has a professional photo. Now on this one, I'm going to be briefly talking about professional photos in a few slides. But in this example, you can see how her headline rocks, okay? Now, the other thing about positioning is this. You definitely have to have your awesome summary. And it has at least 2,000, you can write your summary in either first or third person. It is definitely your preference, as long as you write it within the 2,000 character limit. And I highly recommend that you highlight your accomplishments on summary. And you can definitely use bullet points to highlight or showcase the accomplishments or achievements that you have. And definitely add your contact information when it comes to whatever information that you want to share out there. So let's say your email address or your business email address, your phone number, your business phone number, as well as your website. And again, definitely add your specialty in the summary. For example, life coach, or if you're a life coach or a business coach or a motivational speaker, definitely have that there. And I'm going to show you where you can actually add that into your summary. as you can see here, here's an example, a really good example, where Rachel, where she actually included her website, her email, and specialties. And right here, as you can see, I've actually highlighted it in red arrows. So at the bottom here, the very first red arrow points to her website, rmco.gov, okay? And the other ones are her email address here, and as well as her specialties down at the bottom. Specialties, contract, temp to hire, direct hire staffing, and so forth and so forth, okay? Now, these are a great example of what, this is a great example of where you can actually add your email, your website, as well as your specialties. Now, let's go back up to the top here. As you can see, she has a really good summary. And like I mentioned earlier, you can definitely write your summary with either in first person or third person. Again, it is up to you. That's your preference. But as you can see here with Rachel, she has written her summary in first person. And she talks about her industry, how long she's been doing it, and so forth and so forth. And you can definitely do that. And again, as long as you stay within the 2,000 character limit. Now, here's an example from Jintar, and I hope I am actually pronouncing that right. Jintar, Jintare, it is a beautiful name, and I hope that I'm pronouncing it right. If not, I truly apologize. But as you can see here, she has written her summary in first person, okay? And she can definitely highlight her achievements and bullet points if she would like to. Definitely add her contact information, her email, phone number, website, whatever information that she wants to share out there. And definitely add her specialty, whether, you know, she is coaching. So I want to know what type of coaching does Jintari is doing. Is she a business coach? Is she a life coach? Is she a empowerment coach? Whatever it is. As you can see here, it seems like she's in a personal development, people development. So that might be an empowerment or personal development coaching, right? So definitely use keywords. You can definitely update it and tweak it a little bit further. And that way people, when people look at that, they can automatically say, okay, she does empowerment coaching, or she does, you know, life coaching, whatever the case may be for you. The second strategy for this is your online presence. Now here we're gonna be looking into how your online presence look like in LinkedIn. So I'm going to be going over your LinkedIn URL, which is, I highly recommend that you customize your link when it comes to your LinkedIn. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that, okay? Without all these extra characters that we tend to have when we first create our LinkedIn. LinkedIn automatically gives that to us. Well, we have a way to actually customize our link so it just says our name as opposed to our name and then all these extra characters on there that LinkedIn gives us. And definitely recommend you to use your real name as it would appear on a resume, because you've got to remember LinkedIn is a professional social media platform. I don't even like to call it social media because, you know, it's totally different. But definitely use your real name as it would appear on the resume. Keep it professional per se. Now also, we're gonna look into your photo, your professional photo. And right here, I've actually given you the size, and I believe this is still correct to this day. Again, you know, LinkedIn often changes things. I mean, not often, unlike Facebook, but they may change it. But just in case, you can definitely Google LinkedIn sizes for profiles and banners and all that good stuff, when, you know, just to make sure that you have the right sizing. But for now, I believe it's 400 by 400 pixel. And I'm going to show you where you can actually create this size. And I'm going to share with you the tool on how to do that. For those of you who might not be familiar on, you can definitely create your own profile image and everything else, not only for LinkedIn, but as well as other social media platforms out there that are good for Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and Twitter posts, and other social media platforms out there. Definitely have a professional headshot, right? And another thing is definitely have a cover banner. And again, here the size for now that I know of is 1584 wide by 396 high pixel. In other words, 1584 by 396. And I want you to upload your branded background banner. And it could be really something simple. It could just be your photo and then a little bit of text when it comes to what you do for your business, for your audience, right? We got to think about the outcomes and results for your audience, because it's not necessarily about you. It's what you can do for your audience. What value can you actually produce for the people that you want to help? And here I have an example. His name is Thor, and I hope, again, I'm pronouncing that right, Thor. And right here is where that example I was telling you about, with all these extra characters right after his name, these numbers, right? We can actually delete all these extra characters, so it's just gonna have his name and last name, his first name and last name, his full name, which is the example here is gonna be linkedin.com/in/Thor Ktim-Fishker, okay? And there is a way for you to do that. As you can see here to the right, I've actually draw an arrow where once you are logged into your LinkedIn, you can actually go into the right side of your LinkedIn profile and click on the tab Me, M-E. Click on that, and then another browser is going to open where you can actually view your profile to change the link. Okay, as you can see here, there's the view profile right here. Click on that, and then another browser is going to open up where you can change the link. It's going to be on the right side. And all you got to do is just delete the extra characters, whatever it is, the numbers or the letters, whatever it is that you have, and just have your full name there and save it. And as you can see here, so here's another example from Thea. She actually customized her LinkedIn profile. Her LinkedIn link is, as you can see here, she doesn't have all these extra crazy characters, right, that we saw from Thor. She just has her name, okay? And she also has here on the bottom, she also listed her specialty. I love that. I really love that. And another thing that she can, another suggestion that I highly recommend is to definitely add more to her summary, right? Because again, we can have up to 2,000 characters for our summary. Here's another example from Gabrielle. And as you can see here, Gabrielle just has a really simple LinkedIn profile for now. And I think she's still updating her profile, but one of the things that I highly recommend for you to have is to have a background banner. And again, the size is 1584 by 396 pixel. And like, again, if I'm going to share with you this tool that I use just about every single day. It's called Canva, CANVA.com. And they have a free version as well as a paid version. Obviously, if you pay it, you'll have more access to features that you can customize and do whatever you want as far as layout and create some posts and images and things like that. But the free version for now, especially if you're just starting out, is highly recommended because they will give you the information as well as the template, right? The size and the template that you need to create your banner. And again, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but I highly recommend that you update your banner. That way it shows the your professional specialty, okay? Now, the third one is promote. And this is about engaging with your community. This is about having that conversation in your community, right? And one thing here that I forgot to add is if you, and I'll mention it to you at the end, is about having videos. But let me just go over these for now. So one of the things that you can do on how to promote your LinkedIn profile is definitely join groups. Anything that is related to your niche is highly recommended because you can have up to 50 groups that you can join. Okay, now do not get overwhelmed because 50 groups is a lot, but as long as you stay focused and as long as your brand or your business aligns with those groups, or for the most part, okay, for the most part, so definitely do some research, and you can do that using the search bar on LinkedIn and see what type of groups that actually resonates with you for your business, or even go into other groups that where your potential clients and customers would be, whatever it is for you in your niche, in your market. And once you join these groups, you can definitely engage and have that conversation with your connections and the members in the group. And one thing to do that is join the conversation in the group. You don't have to have an elaborate, thing to say. Just be aware of what they're talking about and see what value can you add to the group, and not always have to sell your products or service. At least you're giving value. You're giving them information that perhaps the group members can actually see value of. That's something that you can help them with, whatever it is, the challenges or obstacles or whatever they're stuck in their business. Provide value in that sense, because over time when you do this, they're going to see you as the expert in your niche. And over time, this is where you're positioning your LinkedIn profile to be that authority in your niche, because over time they're going to see you, that you're constantly providing value, that you're constantly conversing with your connections and helping out the members in that group. Now, when it comes to connecting with people in LinkedIn, I highly recommend to at least have more than 500. It's because when you hit the 501 and more, the connections that you have on there is going to open up a little bit more. In other words, LinkedIn is going to definitely open up more connections, more business professionals who are going to see your profile even more. It's just part of their algorithm, which you don't really need to know about the technicality when it comes to that. But when it comes to connecting your LinkedIn profile to professionals out there, start researching and start researching the people that you want to connect. Go ahead and start connecting with them and send those personalized message. And what I mean by that is, don't just click on connect button when you see other people's profile. Go ahead and send them a personalized message, inbox them and just say, hey, this is so-and-so. I see that you and I have a mutual, you and I are in the same group, so we might have a mutual commonality or mutual interest when it comes to our business or whatever it is that you do, right? And go ahead and just spark that conversation, and not necessarily sell your products or service from the get-go, but just have that connection, just have that personalized touch, if you will, because it gives you that humanistic side of your brand, as opposed to just the robot, right? The robot just, doing all the work for you by just connecting you. And let me tell you though, I've been doing that for a while, where I send personalized message and it actually works. I have a higher probability of connecting with the professionals when I send them just a really quick message in their inbox. Now here's a recap, right? Because we briefly talked about positioning your LinkedIn profile, and then going over a little bit of your online presence, and then how you promote it. Oh, which reminds me though, right? I almost forgot. So I wanted to add the video. When nowadays, for a while now, I mean, videos are just hot. They really are. They're trending. It's easier to digest when it comes to people who are on the go and they just want to see and hear something quick, right? Videos are really, really trending right now, and it's in and LinkedIn. It's definitely one of the places that you can definitely use your videos to promote yourself. So you don't even have to have a fancy equipment when it comes to creating your video if you've never done your videos before. You can have your smartphone, whether it's iPhone or Samsung, whatever it is that you have, the smartphone. Just do a quick video. It can be a 30-second or even a 60-second promo about you and talking about you and who you are, what do you do, that sort of, video, right? It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to have fancy equipment either. Just do a smartphone, record yourself talking, and then upload it on LinkedIn. You'll be surprised that over time, the more you do this, let's say you do it for the 30 days, and that's one of the things that I teach my clients is have this 30-day challenge where every single day they either pre-record their content, they get on the smartphone, right, on the camera, and then they say something for between 1 to 5 minutes, record that information and upload it on LinkedIn. Okay, whatever it is, as long as you provide even more value to your target audience, it's that content. And I actually, a lot of my students like this because some of them don't really like to write articles, which is another way for you to promote. If you like that, is you can definitely write some articles or you can publish it on LinkedIn, which I highly recommend as well. You can do both, but for some people, they don't like writing, but they prefer video content and vice versa. It just depends on your preference. But one of the ways that you can definitely promote is through videos, as well as, writing your content and just publish it on LinkedIn. Definitely just publish it on LinkedIn, because that way you're going to be seen as the expert in your niche even more. So, all right, let me go back here. And here's a really great example here to recap, to summarize our training. As you can see here, this is Melanie Dodaro, and she definitely has a really great LinkedIn profile. As you can see, she has a great background banner. It tells her who she is, what she can do for her audience. She is a keynote speaker. She's a LinkedIn expert, social selling speaker and trainer, and there's a picture of her speaking. So definitely right off the bat, you can tell she's a speaker, she is a trainer, okay? And she even has her book here, a copy of her book, a picture of that. And then next on the left side of the screen, you can see that she also has a professional photo. And that's one of the things too, when it comes to LinkedIn, if you don't have a photo yet, or you're thinking about updating your photo, now is a good time to do that. Hire just a really good photographer out there and just get your professional photo done, upload it on LinkedIn, and you're good to go. And right here, she's got her LinkedIn name is your name. Okay, don't have anything else fancy on there. I've seen other people that they just have so many things on their name, but you don't need to do that. And her headline is also catchy because it has the keywords that she wants to be found for. As you can see here, she says, and it reads, I show business to business, B2B businesses how to generate high quality leads on LinkedIn without spending money on ads. Free masterclass URL in the summary. And she definitely has a really good summary. And I just didn't have the space to actually put everything here, but she definitely highlights her achievements, her success, and what she can do for her audience. Now to the right here, as you can see, she has more than 500 connections. And remember, I was telling you that one of the goals is to have more than 500 connections. And if you already have that, that's fantastic. If you already also have, you know, a connection that way. That is really great. But if you don't, and if you're just starting out, one of the great ways to do that is build your connection even more. And that way, if you reach more than 501, your reach to getting your LinkedIn profile exposed, right, is even greater. And it's just going to grow your network even more. And again, not just connecting with 501, but you also need to engage, right? I mean, there's just so many strategies behind what you need to do with LinkedIn, but hopefully this is helpful for you. I briefly touched on positioning, online presence, and promoting your social media, your LinkedIn profile. Now, as I mentioned before, here are a few resources and tools that you can definitely utilize for your business. And for now, there is a social media cheat sheet. And you can definitely go online and just type in the bit.ly link and have this, you know, for now anyway. And I think this is for 2019 as well. So use that for now, and it's a different resource actually. It's another resource, and I often go to her website because she constantly updates the sizes for all social media profiles, not just for LinkedIn, but also for Facebook, Twitter, you know, Instagram and other ones out there. But she does a really good job. She does this every single year, and if something changes, she immediately changes the sizes for you. But anyway, this is a good guide for you to have now and then for future reference. And again, I also mentioned about Canva, right? It's where you can create beautiful designs or documents, and not just for social media platforms, but you can actually even create PowerPoint. As a matter of fact, I actually created the slides using Canva. Right? So you can do so much more: business cards, flyers, many things. So you just got to go in there and look at it and get familiar with the platform. And Pro Finder by LinkedIn. Now, I'm not sure if this is available in your area, but I know in the United States it is available, and I'm not too sure about other countries out there. I know some countries this is available now, and it's basically where the Pro Finder is for professionals to hire freelancers and entrepreneurs in your area. And again, you know, this feature is available in some countries. You just have to, if it's not available, I'm sure it's going to be rolling out in, you know, in a little bit. I'm not sure when, but definitely keep your eye out when it comes to Pro Finder by LinkedIn, because this is one great way for you to generate leads. I've actually used it in the past where, well, obviously, if this is available for you, definitely create your profile, right? As a Pro Finder freelancer or a business professional, create the profile, and it'll give you, LinkedIn will give you the steps and the guide and the support to how to do that. But go ahead and create that profile and list all the specialties that you have and what you can do for your target audience and your clients. And then just put it out there, and you'll be getting some business professionals who are actually needing your service. So it's a really great tool when you want to generate more leads for your business. All right. Well, again, this is Ires Alliston. Thank you so much for letting me provide this quick training for you. I do hope that you find it useful and helpful for your business. And if you do want to connect with me, go ahead and do so. I have all of my social media profiles, most of them, right, listed on here. So if you have any questions, definitely email me, and any of these email addresses that I have, I will certainly love to connect with you even more. If you have any questions, email me. If you have any, if you don't want to email me, you can definitely connect with me on any of my social media profiles and just ask your questions that way. And again, thank you so much for letting me provide this training for you. And I hope you have a fantastic day, fantastic evening, whatever you may be in this big, awesome world of ours. Thank you for now. I'll see you again soon. Bye.